All right, welcome to Walker Talk number 22. We have been really bad in the last 3 weeks and have not done any, or 2 weeks. It's been 3 weeks. It's been busy, and so this one's a big one. So hold on to your buckets and keep your arms and ears inside the vehicle. No, that's not right.
Arms and legs.
Arms and legs. Limbs. Don't put your arms outside the vehicle. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was bad.
I know now why people like listening to these.
No, I don't. Okay. So we're going to go in chronological order through the things we've done. Then we're going to talk about the baby in chronological order of the things she's done. And then we're going to talk about our opinions in chronological order of the way we first introduced them. So that means that we're going to talk about something maybe briefly in this our what we've been doing section, and then come back to them like we usually do in opinion segment. But this one's kind of longer, so we're just going to see what happens. Just keep in mind
for the repetition.
that it's going to be some things are going to repeat, but it's going to be in chronological order. That's all we're trying to say. Also, the baby has hiccups, so if you hear that, that's what it is. It's hilarious and sad sometimes, but she doesn't mind hiccups too much. She doesn't sleep very well with hiccups. But okay, so just before we recorded our last Walker Talk, we were sitting on our couch, and I felt something like a little bug or something on my leg, and I lifted up my leg, and I was like, "Brooklyn, what is that?" And she looked down. There's a little black thing, and it hopped away. It was a flea. So
we were mortified.
So we are very clean people, or pretty clean people. I mean, really clean people.
Could be worse.
In comparison, could be better, but in comparison to a lot of people. And so when we see fleas, we think we're the most disgusting people in the whole world.
But I have read that even the cleanest people can have fleas.
We have seen fleas twice. Okay, no. We have seen a single flea on two separate occasions.
Whoa.
That was good. In 2 separate occasions in our house.
And the first time was like a long time ago.
Yeah. It was, and we sprayed for the fleas then. We saw another flea today, 3 weeks ago, and so we freaked out again.
But this time we can't really spray because of juniper. I just am too worried about it.
Right, we sprayed
Everything
before.
I read was like, my cat died, and so like, nope, we're not doing that.
So we tried to be responsible about that, but we also didn't want to have to like pull our whole apartment apart just for one flea. So we started like trying different things to detect fleas and stuff like that, and we didn't find any. Also, I am pretty sure we don't have an infestation of fleas. Yeah. But even when you find one flea, it's like, holy cow, that's
like, there's
gross.
Probably more, but
we're flea ridden. We're disgusting. Even though it probably just came in from outside or on one of our clothes or something. So yeah. We don't have fleas. We just want to talk about that.
Yeah. But we did spray behind our couch because we thought maybe it's in our couch.
Yeah, because we didn't spray there last time, I don't think.
Yeah,
either.
But we haven't seen any since, so
no we don't have fleas. Now
nobody is going to ever want to stay with us again.
But we have seen a flea anyway, but we took care of it, just so you guys know. So anyway, we sprayed that right before baby's cried.
I think she's okay.
Okay.
I might leave.
No, that's right. Anyway, so you have to be out of the house when you spray for fleas for like 4 hours or 3 hours, or at least until the stuff dries. And so we moved everything. We sprayed for fleas, and then we went over to our friend the Brantleys to watch The Mandalorian. So Disney Plus came out just before we recorded our last Walker, or just after we recorded our last Walker Talk. And it's been a big hit, a bunch of Disney stuff, and they are releasing a new Star Wars show called The Mandalorian, which is pretty good, and we'll talk about it later. But it was really fun. It's being released week to week, so we're kind of doing this like every Friday. We're going over to their apartment to watch it. Granted, Thanksgiving kind of threw it off, but we have the Brantleys, not John. That's actually his name is John. But Paul Brantley, and
his middle name.
And Becca Brantley, they are hosting it, and then Christine and Nathaniel Muth also come. And so we're just like a bunch of friends. And it's kind of nice to have a bunch of friends doing friend stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we'll talk about The Mandalorian a little later. But we did that, and then we came home, came back after we sprayed for fleas. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's nice and dry. Put everything
and
away.
it was just under the couch, so it wasn't a big deal.
Yep. And so we just scooted everything back, and that was nice. But that was it's really fun to go do stuff like that. And then that Sunday was state conference, which was really good. It was an awesome state conference. Was it Elder, what's his name? Teixeira. Yeah.
He's from Portugal.
Was at the was like the presiding authority. I guess he's a member of the 70s. Anyway, it was good. Really, really spiritual, and the best part of it though is that we didn't miss it because our church is at noon and state conference is 10 to noon, and last year we'd been gone, or the last
we've been gone for Thanksgiving or
we
something.
missed no it was we had gone to no, it was just but 6 months ago. I think it was that we had gone to St. George 2 weekends in a row. So we had gone to church somewhere else for 2 weekends, then came back and went to church thinking it was normal. And we got there and everyone's like coming out of state conference. I was like, no, it was state conference today. Anyway, so we didn't miss it this time. And It was really good. And then talk about this next one.
Okay. At work, things are going pretty well. I work on like a super small team right now since we're still really early in development. It's just
she can't even tell you about.
I can't tell you anything
about
it's
what she's
that
working on.
cool and secret. Just kidding. But it's just basically the directors and like a couple of coordinating people. And so the other day we were trying to figure out one of the main characters' designs, and they just like couldn't figure out the proportions, and we're kind of doing this all over email. And so I just suggested that I come in and we could do like some sketching together. And it was just so fun. They were like so excited about the idea of it. And so we just got together and we all like sketched out the character and tried different proportions and finally got to something that we all liked. But it was just fun. We like watched Kung Fu Panda for like research, and we're just laughing, and it was fun.
I just want to point out like what she just said though, that they watched Kung Fu Panda for research. It's like one of the most, anytime she does that kind of stuff, or she'll talk about how she just like was watching YouTube clips of animated movies like for like to figure out things, and it's just like, you watch cartoons for research.
Like, I get paid to do this. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that happened, and yeah, I don't know, it's a great team. Like, there's really frustrating things about this team and just the nature of working so early on a project. There's so many unknowns, but it is really fun to work in such a small group.
Yeah.
And just really get to know the directors. And so, yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, that, I don't know when that was. Oh, this is all chronological. So whatever happens next, happened next. But it was, that weekend was CTN, which was really good. There were some hiccups, but all in all, I think that it was a pretty beneficial weekend.
Yeah. Well, first of all, so I got an email back in March, and not just me. It's been confirmed that other people got this email too. Thought maybe I was just crazy, but it said that CTN was now a 4-day event, and that you could also exhibit on Thursday instead of just Friday, Saturday, Sunday like it has been in the past. So anyways, we get all packed up and we get there Thursday. I take off work, like make sure everything's good for that. And the tent is still like completely empty. I'm like, what's going on? I thought today was an exhibiting day, and like none of the volunteers or coordinator people had any idea what we were talking about. Like, oh, we've never seen this email before. Anyway, so that happened, but I shouldn't be surprised because CTN's kind of disorganized, but it was still a good event. Yeah,
it's been one of those things over the years that, so CTN, this is like its 12th year, right?
Yeah.
11th year.
or 12th.
I don't know. It's, but it has been that way for a little bit as it's just.
People are becoming a little disenchanted with it.
Yeah, where it has been and is a great opportunity to network and to meet studios and people in the industry. But a couple big name artists got kind of ripped off in the past, where they, or just recently in the last 3 or 4 years, and it just really, really left a bad taste in their mouth, to the point that this guy who has great connections in the industry and knows all the artists and is friends with all of them, he's like, we're doing our own thing. And so they started their own convention, basically essentially the same thing,
just better.
just better, more organized, more up to date. I feel like one of the biggest issues with CTN, because like we've been saying, like, it is one of the best places to network and to meet studios. It's like, so it is really nice that way.
I mean, it's how I got my job at Sony, essentially, and so I mean, I'm grateful for it, but there are issues. But basically,
it just like hasn't evolved. Like, their website still looks like it was made in the early 2000s, and they, and they haven't made it so the staff is paid. They haven't turned it into an organization that is functions well, kind of thing. And so, it seems as if people aren't, like, the owners or the people who run it aren't interested in investing any of the money that they're earning it back into improving CTN. Instead, it's just kind of been the same thing for so long. And so I think people are just
kind of getting old. Yeah.
But it was fun. Jerem, Brooklyn's brother, was here, or is working here, kind of on and off in Los Angeles. And this he happened to be in town, and so he came with us on Saturday and hung out and walked around, and that was really fun. Brooklyn had some good interviews, or I guess recruiting / portfolio review / interviews with some companies. Who did you interview with?
I interviewed with Bento Box, which is like the only thing I know that they've done is Bob's Burgers, which
they're like a TV.
Yeah, a TV studio. And anyways, they're kind of like, well, we realize you're not really looking for work here at Sony right now, but just circle back with us if you ever need a job, like, just reach out. So it was really good to meet network. People and know that now I have a connection if I need. And then I had an interview with Skydance, which I've had some issues with, just because of the whole, like, hiring John Lasseter freshly out of...
Explain that,
okay, so
they're not going to know that.
Yeah, that's true. I would assume people are obsessed with animation. Yep. So anyways...
Skydance is a small, new company.
Yeah, it's brand new, like... they weren't bought out by anybody. They don't have a parent company. It's a brand new animation studio that it's only like a year or two old. Anyways, but they hired John Lasseter, who, if any of you guys know who he is, he basically is like the big brains behind a lot of the early Pixar movies, and has been a big figure there and Disney for a long time. Anyways, but there were a lot of sexual allegations against him in the past several years.
Sexual harassment allegations.
Yes, sexual harassment allegations. And he was finally let go from Pixar, and it's just been this big thing, a lot of controversy over.
A lot of women at Pixar came out and said, that they felt like their careers had been stunted because of the way that he treated women versus men in the workplace, and stuff like that.
And so, I mean, regardless of what is really true, like, I wasn't there, obviously, so I don't know. It was a very controversial thing for Skydance to then pick him up so quickly after. I think a lot of people were kind of...
4 or 5 months
Yeah, it was just later. Like a few months later, and people were like, are you kidding me? Like, he was just let go from Pixar. So people are kind of upset about it. And anyway, so the interview actually went really well, though. The guy was super open and like friendly, and he just told me what it's like to work there. And so I kind of read the situation and like timidly asked him, like, so I don't know if it's inappropriate. He's like, I know what you're gonna ask, and it's totally fine. And he told me just sort of about the whole situation with John Lasseter. And anyway, so it sounds like it's a great place to work, and that, like, he's under really tight scrutiny. And so he's like, I mean, it's kind of ironic, but it's technically the safest place to work in the industry right now because we're under such tight scrutiny. But yeah, so that one.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
what else?
That one went well. Then I had an interview with Netflix, which is like the new big up and coming animation thing. I still don't understand how it works. It's like technically it's Netflix, but their movies are produced through a lot of different studios. So like Klaus is a new one that came out, but
this is Netflix,
produced in Spain.
But this is Netflix animation though, right? Like this is...
I don't know.
I think this is... Oh, okay.
Honestly, I went to the interview, I was like, I have no idea what you guys do.
As far as I understand, Netflix does Netflix originals, which can be produced by whoever.
Right.
Right. Or they can be animated by whoever. But then this company, as far as I understand...
Yeah, they do...
that they are an animation team at Netflix.
Feature.
So they actually... Yeah. So they would be the ones not only producing it, because producing is different than animating, but not only producing it, but also doing the animation and doing the visual development, the whole process of...
The whole pipeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, but that interview went really well. It was with a recruiter and then an artist that I actually know and really like. But they're just sort of like, well, we'll circulate your portfolio around and see if you are a good fit, and we may reach out to you. And so... and then my last one was with Disney Animation, which was cool. And they were like, we're not really looking for people right now, but we just like to meet people. And so he gave me some tips on my portfolio and just said for me to contact him. So it was great. It was really good for me to meet a few people. And even though I'm not like actively looking right now, who knows what could happen at Sony, and I may want to jump around. So
yeah,
it was good.
But yeah, I think again, like the best benefit of CTN is just meeting people, like meeting recruiters, or even just meeting new artists and stuff. Like Brooklyn did portfolio reviews for Sony, where they have people sign up and they come up and show art, and she like reviews that portfolio, gives them tips and stuff. And there were some really good ones. Yeah,
there's some that I was like, why don't you have my job? Yeah, there's some really talented people. So
also a motivating thing, because like, Brooklyn's like, if I don't work, I'm gonna lose my job if I don't get better.
I like give them really bad tips, like
that did not actually happen.
That didn't.
Even
like trying to, what's the word?
Cheat.
No. I can't remember the word.
I don't know. No, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, next.
Well, really quick. The end of CTN, although flawed, was good. We probably won't do it next year, especially if we can get into that other convention
expo.
That they're
the Lightbox.
Lightbox is what it's called. That has kind of popped up, which Brooklyn was actually invited to this last. Well, not invited. She applied and they accepted the application, but it was the week after Juniper was born, so that was not going to happen.
So maybe this next year.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But let me tell you about the biggest travesty of CTN. So after CTN every year on Saturday, they get together for this big BYU alumni pizza party. The first year that we've been 4 years. The first year we went, they did it just like right in front of the hotel, and like people were like walking through like the landscaping and just like ruining everything. Yeah. And then like random people would just come in and grab a piece of pizza, people who weren't even BYU alum. It was very disorganized and bad. And the next year they're like, oh, okay, instead of doing that, we're going to do it at somebody's house.
It's like a mile down the road.
Yeah, it's super close, a mile down the road. And so everyone's like, yeah, that's great. And so we go to this house, and in California, this is just how a lot of houses are in Los Angeles, in this area, is it's just a little house in the front and a little backyard.
If you have a backyard.
If you have a backyard, yeah. And so they're like longer lots. They're skinnier and longer. But in the backyard, it's like you can barely see anything. If it were 10 people, it would be a perfect place, because there's like a nice little patio with some lights and stuff. But there's like 60 people.
At least, maybe
100. Like, so it just like fills in and it gets so cramped and you can't hear anything. It's
can't
super
like
loud.
Move around at all.
And so that was the second year, and that was when Brooklyn was still at BYU, and it was really fun. We got to see a bunch of people, meet some people, and there's plenty of pizza. Then last year they were geniuses, and they moved it to a church building. So it was in a cultural center or a cultural hall, and so there's plenty of pizza, plenty of room, lots of tables to sit at. Everyone
could see everyone
conversing and hanging out. Yeah, the light, it was bright enough to see everyone. And it was really fun. We had to bail early last year because it was the wrap party for Spider-Man. And so we left early, but that was great. And then this year they chose to do it back at that same person's house with a tiny backyard
and we're like,
and a million people.
Like, did we not learn from
and
last
they
year?
only
It was
bought
awesome.
like 10 pizzas. We were like 5 or 10 minutes late.
Yeah, not
20
that
minutes
late
late,
at all.
maybe.
And the pizza was
there
gone.
was no pizza. I was so miffed. I was so upset that on Monday I bought a pizza because I wanted a pizza.
He felt so gypped.
I didn't get very much. I got like one piece of free pizza, and that's not enough.
Yeah, so it felt like we took a
So
few
I ate a
steps
whole
back
piece.
this year.
Yeah, no,
I don't understand.
It
why
was
they did.
kind of.
I mean, it's nice to that person to offer, but it's just like.
Yeah, but the computer fell asleep. That was scary. Our blanket got really dark really fast. So
It's really sweaty and hot in here, by the way.
Is it hot? Are you hot?
I'm hot. I'm wearing pajamas though, so
Well, I'm wearing
my Christmas
my
pajamas.
hoodie. You are. Those Christmas jams are warm.
Jammy jams.
Jammy jams. Spatchy spatch. Where are we at? Pizza party. Yeah. Anyway, pretty fun. It's good to see people that she went to school with, and then also like other BYU alum. Again, just networking is really good. So even if we didn't go to CTN next year, we would probably go to that. Or we would go to that still. So, all right. So CTN was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It runs on Sunday, but we don't attend on Sunday. So we had Sunday and we just relaxed.
Recuperated.
Yeah, it was and that's honestly, that's one of the big reasons that you didn't get a walk and talk.
Yes.
That week was just because
CTN was crazy this year.
We were exhausted. Brooklyn was exhausted. I was exhausted, and I didn't even do anything except take care of the baby.
Which is exhausting.
But oh yeah, and that's kind of how we did it this year with the baby, because we couldn't. She's just too little to leave with somebody, so we went Thursday to go because we're like, oh, it starts on Thursday, and I was just going to hang out with the baby, maybe drive back and forth, but it didn't happen on Thursday, so we just came home, worked. Friday, Brooklyn just went, and I just kept the baby all day. That way, we didn't have to worry about that. And then Saturday, I came in the morning with the baby, hung out for a while, came home, finished some homework, went back later in the afternoon and stuff. So that's how we did it with the baby. But so Sunday was was recuperation day, and then Monday we went to a Rams game.
We did.
Yeah, that was really fun. Did you like that?
Yeah. Wait, can I say one thing about CTN? Sorry, I just remembered this. So the way that we did it was Matt was home and I'm breastfeeding, and so I just like pumped in a bathroom stall. And now I understand why companies are required to have an actual room for women to breastfeed in or to express milk in, because it is not easy to pump milk while sitting on a toilet. I'll tell you that much. So it was kind of crazy with CTN, just like I was either pumping in a bathroom stall or like doing reviews or anyways. Yeah, it was great, but it was very stressful, and so we needed Sunday to recuperate.
But it was very fun.
Just so you guys know, so you can picture that. On to the Rams game.
Okay, so the Rams game. So the Rams are the NFL team in Los Angeles. They moved back, I think 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, from St. Louis. But they don't have a stadium here, so they've been playing in USC's stadium, the LA Memorial Coliseum is what it's called, and it's a big stadium. I mean, was it 70,000 people?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it seats 70,000, which is just insane. Because it's so big, they have a harder time selling out games, and so tickets tend to be cheaper. So I was like, you know what? If we want to go to a game, we'd better do it this year, because next year they're going to be in their new stadium that they just built, and there's less seating, and it's going to be more expensive because of brand new stadium, stuff like that. And so we're like, okay, we got to go. This is the last Monday night game that they're going to play in the Coliseum, and that's like kind of our only opportunity because we're not going to go on Sunday. So it's just like, it's like we got to go. And so they played the Baltimore Ravens, and the Ravens are like the best team in the AFC right now, which is pretty fun to watch, and the Rams got demolished by the Ravens.
Yes, they did.
But it was kind of fun because I like the Ravens better than the Rams, and so watching that, and there were so many Ravens fans in the building,
Like more than Rams.
like
I feel
more,
like.
yeah, like when the Ravens would score, the place would erupt, like it was insane, and maybe it was just because we were on the visitor side, but I don't know if that matters as much in. I didn't think it mattered in the NFL, but maybe it does. Anyway, so we got to sit pretty close to like the corner of an end zone, and it was fun. It was really fun. And
fun,
we brought Juniper, and we just wrapped her up in a boba, which is the kind of wrappy chest carrier thing, and took her, and she slept for a lot of it. We took the train there, and we walked through, and it was just as soon as you got off at the train at Expo Park, it was just in your face. There were people trying to sell hot dogs and game merch and all this stuff as you're walking to the place, and it was so fun. It was exciting. It was just like electric, and I really liked it. And I'm going to talk a little bit about it in my opinion segment about like being there versus watching on TV, but it was really, really fun. The worst part was I waited literally 40 minutes in line for concessions, and they didn't even have what I wanted, so I had to get something else. So I was like, oh, I'll leave 5 minutes before halftime. I'll go up, I'll get something, and come back down, in time for us to hang out and not have to worry about the halftime rush, because that's what happens. And I went up. And I went all the way through halftime in like 5 minutes into the third quarter. It was like so long. Brooklyn like texted me. He's like, "Are you okay? Like, where are you?"
The person behind me too was like, "Has he still not come back?" Because I had Juniper and was just playing with her, and so I think he's just like watching us. But he's like, "Has your husband still not come back?" He like, even other people noticed, which is funny.
So it was a long time. But I met this guy in line who said he played ball with Magic and Kareem, which I don't believe, but he said he did. But I don't know
who Kareem is.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's right. That's okay.
Is that a football player?
Nope. No, it's a basketball. The Showtime Lakers. Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and some of those guys.
Cool.
Well, we'll have to have a conversation about that later. Just kidding. I don't know if I even really knew who like the Showtime Lakers were until a couple years ago. But anyway. He was an interesting dude. He tried to sell me a Mercedes-Benz as well. So,
yeah.
So I did. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. But he was actually kind of an interesting dude. It was kind of fun to talk to him. Anyway, so that was kind of the Rams game. Later that night, we just kind of rode home. Did we get Cool House that night?
Mm-hmm.
And we got Cool House, which we'll talk about later. We like
hipstery ice cream.
Kind of this ice cream place by our house. So Rams game was fun though. Super fun. Then that week, so that was Monday, and then Thursday was Thanksgiving that week. And we decided to do Thanksgiving with our friends. So again, with the Brantleys and the Muths, and the Andresens, who they recently moved into our ward. They're just really nice people. Barrett and Laura Andresen, right? And so we decided to do that, and we're like, okay, and we all decided what we're going to bring. So this year we made cauliflower. How do you say gratin? Au gratin.
Some sort of cauliflower
like
dish.
Potatoes au gratin. Au gratin. How do you say that?
I have no idea.
I don't know how to say it.
I am not.
Gratin. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. That it's like those sliced potatoes that have the cheese and stuff on them. You know what I'm talking about?
Like a cheesy. Is that salami?
No, that's vegetables.
Okay.
Well, actually, I don't know.
I'm not a very sophisticated eater.
Anyway, it's the cauliflower stuff that Melissa made. That
it was delicious.
Well, my sister Melissa made it for Thanksgiving last year. It's basically just like cauliflower in a casserole dish with like sour cream and cheese and mustard and kind of this like lemony, like kind of soury stuff topping. It's delicious. So we made that. We made mashed potatoes, which I think were the best mashed potatoes that I've ever made. They were pretty yummy.
They were good.
And then we made a pumpkin pie, which
is always delicious.
We use this recipe that has cream cheese in it, and it's like you're eating like a pumpkin cheesecake. Oh, makes me so happy. I loved it. Anyway, it was really fun. It was a bummer because one of the Andresen's kids got really sick just the day before. Like, I was actually talking to him, and he said that they went to church like a month ago and came home and got sick, one of the kids or one of their parents. So they weren't able to go to church the next week or something, and then they came to church again after they were all healthy, and then they got sick again. It's like happened 3 times in a row. And so anyway, so just Barrett and their daughter Eleanor came, and but he's super nice guy, fits in really well with this group too. Like, he just this is, I would say, we as a friend group are kind of nerdier, but also normal nerdy. Nerdy. Stop that. Yeah. They are pretty nerdy. I fit in perfectly with these people. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. But it was really good. We had Cornish hens instead of turkey. Paul Brantley made apple and sausage stuffing. I think that's what my dad made this year, and he said it was so good because there was sausage in it, and he was right. That was good stuffing. Brooklyn didn't like it as much. Oh no, she didn't like I
don't like gravy.
The gravy. So he also made a sausage gravy, but that was delicious. All of it was delicious. We had pickled herring, which
I did not try.
Oh, Brooklyn didn't try that. I tried that. That was okay. There were these little pumpkin biscuits that Becca made.
Oh, those were good.
They were like, because they weren't desserts. They were like just like little biscuits. They tasted like a biscuit, but pumpkin-y, with some kosher salt on top.
Mm-hmm. It was delicious.
Yeah, and then
we brought our Andy's Mints.
Oh, we brought
a little
Andy's
refreshing
after
dessert,
because we always get Andy's Mints for CTN, and we got 2 big bottles of them, and we went through 1.5, and the half a bottle is like a pound of Andy's Mints still, and so we needed to help getting rid of them.
Yes,
because we still actually have a ton of Andy's Mints. Anyway, it was really good, and we caught up on The Mandalorian because the week before we didn't watch it. Because CTN. We weren't there for CTN. So we watched that and just hung out. It was really one of those moments where it's just like, I'm so glad that we have good friends in this ward kind of thing. Like, we can't be home for Christmas, but we can be with people that we really care about. Thanksgiving, but be with people we really care about. And that was really nice. I think that I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Thankful for lots of things.
Yes.
But that's one of them. And then...
Wait, real quick. Oh. I'm just looking at the pumpkin pie thing. And I'm just putting out this question for anybody that's listening.
So comment on this.
Yes.
Or text us.
Yes.
Or comment.
Or subscribe and like. Just kidding. Is pumpkin pie better cold or warm? Room temperature. Warm, out of the oven, cold, or room temperature.
So this is...
Because I think traditionally it's like room temperature, right?
We shouldn't influence the vote.
Yeah. Forget I said that.
To. Just because... No, we can't.
We could just clip it out.
No. Yeah, tell us your opinions about pumpkin pie, how it should be eaten. Because like Brooke was saying, traditionally, it's kind of like a room temperature pie.
And we'll reveal to you next week what our opinion is.
No, we like to eat it cold.
Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, it's delicious.
We won't remember to do it next week, and you'll never know how we like to eat pumpkin pie. So, yeah, at least this pumpkin pie is really good cold. Like, we love it. We'd rather it just go like right in the fridge and just be cold. That's like cheesecakey. Yeah. But I don't know how it is with other pumpkin pies, because I don't know if ours sets the same way that other pumpkin pies do. I don't know. We like it cold. That's all.
Yes.
But if you like it warm,
what you think.
Yeah, and tell us what you think about pumpkin pie.
Riveting conversation.
Okay, we're moving on now.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
So Caitlin and Colton Arendt, Brooklyn's sister and brother-in-law, were in town. They came down. Colton's family got an Airbnb in Oceanside, and they kind of hung out in San Diego over Thanksgiving and were with all their cousins and that side of the family. And they visited on the way out back to Scottsdale, and it was really good to see
good
them.
to see them, yeah.
It was.
Wish they could have stayed longer, but they were just heading back home.
day.
They still had a big drive ahead
But
of them.
those their boys are getting so big, and Violet is so big.
He's so cute.
They're so cute and just such a fun, good family. We love
Yeah.
them a bunch. We love when people visit. So if you want to visit, come visit.
Yes.
Anyone who's listening to this.
Even though we saw a flea.
Even though we saw a flea, please do not let fleas deter you.
We haven't seen any since.
If you're look, fleas have a hard time living in Utah, so even if you get them here, they'll probably die
when you get back
when
home.
it's cold.
That's any comfort at all.
There's no fleas in our apartment. please come visit us.
Caitlin's like mortified. I can't believe we came
I know
back.
she's never coming back. We actually do try not to tell people the kinds of bugs we've seen because it's just an old nasty apartment.
And
sometimes.
LA just has a lot of bugs, so it's like it doesn't matter where you live or what kind of lifestyle you have. Like they're just our bugs, and they just get into your house.
Bigger and weirder and stupid. I think we
like Hannah. When Hannah came, we just saw so many like enormous spiders, and luckily they don't really live inside. The really big spiders just live outside, but I just was like pointing them out. I was like, "Oh, there's a big like spider silhouette,
Brooklyn
and there's
can
one
see
right there." And
spiders.
I point them out really well.
Anything she can see.
And Hannah's like, "Nope, yep, I don't want to come back to California. Like I used to want to live here, but this changed my mind."
Those are big spiders.
They're really big.
Yeah. Anyway, that was really fun. That was on Friday, right? Friday. Yeah.
Yes.
And so after they left, we were like, oh, we should go out to return this dress that Brooklyn got. And maybe we can get a good Black Friday deal. Tweet.
Which was like idiots.
It was, and so we went to the mall where Brooklyn bought the dress, and it was a nightmare.
We should have just turned around right when we got there because there was just a huge line going into the mall parking lot. Like,
of cars.
There's no way we're going to find a parking spot.
I was like, okay, well, just go and see if you can turn it, just go return your dress or whatever. And maybe Forever 21 isn't busy or whatever, and so she went in and I tried to keep finding a parking spot. And she called me and was like, nope.
Yeah, I turned around immediately. There's a huge line to check out. And I was like, okay, no.
I'm not waiting.
I'm doing this later.
And so it's like, okay, well, that's fine. Let's go back. And so as we were going back, we're passing Best Buy. And I've talked about Best Buy on here before. It is my favorite store.
Matt loves
I
Best
like
Buy.
to walk around Best Buy.
I should just
I even like looking at the vacuums and stuff.
And washers
TV.
and dryers that we will
Best
never
Buy.
own.
Best Buy is just the best buy. That's all just kidding. Sorry, we need to move on.
And there's parking at the top that a lot of people don't know about.
Yep, you can park on top of the Best Buy by our house. So we scooted up there and we're like, oh, nice. And we went down and it was really busy and it was Black Friday and and we walked in, but I didn't have any plans to buy anything, which is dangerous. You should never go Black Friday shopping if you don't have plans to buy anything. Luckily, we dodged a bullet. But I just walked out. We stayed there for 30 minutes looking at Black Friday stuff and then walked out. It's why did we even go there in the first place?
Because Matt loves it.
I love it. No, it was fun. It's fun to go out on Black Friday. There's lots of people and stuff. I actually really like Black Friday shopping. It's one of my favorite things, but it's hard to do with a kid and when you're an adult because to actually get the good doorbuster sales and stuff like that. And unless you really need something, you really shouldn't be shopping on Black Friday anyway. Also, I heard recently that Black Friday, some of the deals they have on super expensive TVs, they actually produce TVs that are different than the actual on the shelf TVs for Black Friday that have some less some that are now. I don't know if this is 100% true. I just saw this, but where they'll have one less HDMI port, or they'll have different.
So they're not losing as much money or whatever.
Or maybe, I don't know. Or so
they're
just
that
selling.
would cost a lot to change their production, though.
I have no idea. Pipeline. That might not even be true. So take it with a grain of salt.
Yes.
Okay. A big grain of salt.
Really big.
Not one of those little grains. So that was fun, though. We went out, and it's fun to go out with the baby. And just I want to say through all of this, maybe we can talk about... I'll talk about it in the baby update, actually. And then Saturday, we went to a screening of Spies in Disguise.
Which is a Blue Sky Studios film, but they are now owned by Fox, which is owned by Disney.
No. well, they're owned by Disney now.
They're owned by Disney, not
Directly.
Fox.
Yeah.
Fox is okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Disney bought huge portions of Fox like 2 years ago, and that included
Blue Sky Studios, which is a studio in Connecticut
that made Ice Age and all the Ice Ages and Rio and Peanuts movie, Horton Hears a Who, Ferdinand, all those movies. Kind of just like animated movies. Spies in Disguise was pretty fun. It was on the Disney lot though, so which is like always the best part. I don't know. It's just there's something about driving onto Disney Animation and just like walking through there, like past the buildings that like the
where it all
classics were
started
animated at. Like some of the just like it's just really cool to be there. And then you walk to their little theater and watch the movie. It was a good time.
Yeah.
It was really fun. So that kind of brings us to the baby, because I want to talk about this. The baby, through all of this, the baby did great. She doesn't have any issue being out.
Yeah, I think she really likes sound and movement and excitement. Like at the game, we had those like head canceling the noise canceling headphones.
No, they're not headphones. They're just earmuffs.
Earmuffs, like, yeah. And so it wasn't like hurting her ears, but she could still kind of hear. And so she just loves like excitement.
Yeah, and colors and seeing things, and I think it's a little overstimulating sometimes, and she gets pretty exhausted. But like at CTN, she just kind of slept in the stroller as I pushed her around, or I'd carry her and she'd see things, and she's getting to that point where she's like interested in the colors that she sees and stuff like that, and so she just did really good. We took her out to Black Friday, and we took her onto the Disney lot and just wrapped her, and she's getting better in that boba carrier too. She hated that before.
Yeah, the first time it's like I'd never heard her scream so much. Yeah, I was like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, like we'll never do this, but no, she's really.
She likes it now.
Yeah, and she's getting better. Like her neck control is really good. So I don't know. She's just like growing up. She's outgrowing all of her clothes.
Yeah, I've like started putting away some of her newborn clothes, which is so sad. Like she doesn't fit in this anymore. Like this used to be so big on her, and now it's teeny. Yeah. Anyways, she's getting big. She's like big. Doubled in size.
Yeah.
So, more than that. She's getting big.
She's getting really big. And just yesterday she turned 3 months old.
Yes, she did. 3 months.
Yeah.
And I've already lost track of weeks, so I don't know how.
So don't ask Brooklyn weeks anymore.
Yeah, moms are like,
they're 400 weeks.
Yeah, it's like, how do you even know?
400 weeks is like 8 years old.
I know. Still, there's some moms that do that. It's really impressive.
Yeah. So we'll give months from now on.
Yeah.
Because weeks we're done with weeks. But yeah, she's 3 months old and she's just a little joy.
Yeah, she's a sweetie.
She's recently gotten really. She's been looking at her hands a lot. Like even she'll be kind of like crying or fussing, and then she sees her hands and she like opens her eyes really wide and just like moves them in front of her face.
She's like, what are these?
Yeah, and like then like sticks it in her mouth kind of thing. Like she's like figuring out how to
it's so
do
cute.
That, which is really cute. She's really close to laughing still. She has been for like 4 weeks, I swear, like 3 months. But she's really cute, and every morning she's just so jolly. We wake up and like. The other day I woke up and I like looked over into the crib because she was making some sounds, but she's just like intently staring at her hands like she does, and then she like turned and looked at me and just gave me the biggest smile, and it's like, okay, I'll have a million more children if they're like you, because she's just so cute and happy, which is really nice most of the time, unless she's hungry.
Yes.
Then
she's a demon. Just kidding. No, she's a good baby.
She transforms. But no, she's been really good and healthy so far. She's got cradle cap like nobody's business.
Yeah.
But but we're working that out.
Yes.
Otherwise, she's great.
Mm-hmm.
She's sleeping right now, which is good. She made it through her hiccups.
Yeah, she did.
She's really close to turning over too. When we do tummy time, she'll stick her head like way off the blanket, and she'll like stick out one of her legs, and she'll like kind of tip like she's almost gonna roll over, but she can't yet.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any arm strength yet, so we'll see. I mean, supposedly she's supposed to start rolling pretty soon.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it depends on kids. So, but that's fun. okay, we're gonna get into our opinion segment because
we've like touched on a lot of these.
We have touched on. We're at 44
Oh
minutes
my
right
gosh!
now.
Wow.
Good luck listening to all of this. Hopefully you're not bored. Okay, so we're gonna go kind of fast. No, we'll just go through. So the first thing, like we were talking about, was the Mandalorian. So Mandalore is a planet in the Star Wars universe that, in the Old Republic or before the Old Republic, was a warfaring planet. They all they did was conquer other planets. They're just a culture of warriors. Imagine like Sparta if it was a planet kind of thing. And so, and that's actually what they're based on. Even their armor is like kind of based on like Spartan warrior armor. Anyway, so that happened way long ago, and then during the Mandalorian Wars, Mandalore lost at a certain point and were conquered and became peaceful, except for a group of Mandalorians, a tribe of Mandalorians that then broke off, and those Mandalorians so the armor that Boba Fett and Jango Fett wear is Mandalorian armor, and so this tribe of them breaks off. This is all about the story of a Mandalorian bounty hunter who goes through certain things. We shouldn't spoil anything.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it's super exciting.
There's
though.
a really
there's
cool
some
reveal.
really good.
If you haven't, it hasn't been spoiled yet. You should.
It's
going to
be really good.
It's cool.
So the Mandalorian, though, it's a TV show, and it's the first time that there's been a live action Star Wars TV show, and they are just so far. We've watched 3 episodes, and they're just like nailing it. Like it feels like Star Wars. It's fun. It's exciting, but
cool
it's not too
Western feeling.
Yeah, but it's not too
cinematography.
It doesn't take itself like too seriously. So it's Star Wars as a TV show, and we really like it. Yeah. So we would highly recommend it. Granted, we've only seen 3 episodes, so I don't know if it gets worse.
Still have time to screw it up.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Star Wars. It's really good. I've really enjoyed it, and they're kind of elaborating on certain like parts of Mandalorian lore, which is kind of interesting because they're kind of mysterious and some other things. So would recommend. Can't really rate it yet. I'd say the first 3 probably like a 9 out of 10 kind of thing. But it will. I'm sure that it will develop it. You know, all TV shows eventually get to the point where it's like, well, I'm done with this. like can't make it past this season. But Mandalorian is really good. So, okay, next, before Thanksgiving, I got so a new Pokemon game came out for the Switch, and I got it. Shad and Cody and Ryan Christopherson all got it as well, and we've kind of been playing it together. It's Pokemon Sword and Shield is this edition. And it's super fun. I've really liked it. I think that there's a lot of good mechanics in it. I haven't played through a whole Pokemon game since like Ruby. I don't even know if I beat Ruby. So it's like it's been more than a decade since I played through a whole game, and this one was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I'd recommend it if you like Pokemon. If you like video games, Pokemon's fun. So if you don't, that's fine. You know, to each his own. So okay, and then we watched a new Netflix movie. Brooklyn's going to talk about this one.
Oh, okay,
because I've been talking too much.
That's fine.
I'm like trying to cruise too.
Okay, so Klaus came out, which is sort of like the origin story of Santa Claus, and so that's a Netflix original, just a Netflix.
Netflix animation. It's
Netflix
their first
animation. Yeah, I don't really understand how Netflix works with this whole new animation thing. Anyway, so it was produced by Sergio Pablos Animation, not to be confused. So it's SPA, not to be confused with Sony Pictures Animation, which I always thought was confusing. Anyway, so they're based in Spain. Sergio Pablos is like an old Disney animator, I'm pretty sure. But it was great. At first, I was like, "This is dumb." Like as we were watching it, I was like, "I don't think I'm gonna finish this. This is a stupid movie." But as we kept watching it, I actually really enjoyed it. I don't like the beginning was just like, "What is going on?"
It was a little bit.
It was
confusing because it's like almost set in like this like a kind of alternate world.
Yeah, and so I was a little bit confused about certain things, and I felt like the acting was like way over the top and very dramatic and theatrical, and I just didn't like it at first. Yeah. But I liked it at the end. As
far as messages in a Christmas film though, it's like top notch. Like I feel like the overarching theme is really good, and the characters are fun, and the points behind it are. There's a couple cliches, and it's still a kids movie, but it's like one of the better Christmas original Christmas movies.
Yeah, Santa Claus is really sweet, and the story's sweet. But there were a couple character design like qualms that I had with it. So Klaus, not Klaus, the postman, his design was just like, it kind of worked for him because he's like a derpy character and kind of spoiled, but like they kind of made some design choices just for the sake of being like designy, if that makes sense. Like they pushed his waist way high up so that his proportions are unequal and interesting, but it's just like way too high. It's like, that guy has boobs. Like, I don't care what you say. Like, his waist is so high, and then he has this little poof for his shirt that's like tucked into his belt, and it just looks like boobs. Anyway, sorry.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying. And it's weird. And so that's the thing. If I could change it, I would probably make his design a little bit less weird.
A little different.
Yeah. But overall, I'm not trying to criticize it because once I make a 2D animated film all by myself, then you can criticize me. But
oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Maybe
I'm
I'll
just
talk
being
about
honest.
animated films.
I'm just being honest, okay?
Brooklyn never has anything good to say about any animated films, especially when it comes to design. Huh.
I'm a character designer. It's my job. Just kidding.
Okay. The next part, Caitlin Applegarth is one of our friends in the ward. When we had Juniper, she brought us dinner one of the nights. And with that dinner, she brought chocolate chip cookies, and they were
delicious.
So good. I know this is a lot, so this is just backstory. So we said, Caitlin, we will pay you as much money as you want to make us more of those chocolate chip cookies. And I guess some other people had said similar things because she loves to bake. And so she recently on Instagram kind of was like, hey, I'm going to start baking, like taking orders for this kind of dessert or whatever, And so we bought 12 chocolate chip cookies, and they were huge. First, they were huge. Second, they were delicious. They were so good.
They're so good when you put them in the fridge.
Yeah,
delicious.
You cool them down and just like it's like cookie dough, but like cooked cookie. It was so good. If you ever live somewhere where Caitlin Applegarth lives, get her chocolate chip cookies.
They're good.
They're so good.
Very good.
That's all. 10 out of 10. Next is Sculpt VR. So we have a PlayStation VR, and we bought this game on it, which is like, it's a sculpting game where you like you're sculpting in 3D in front of you kind of thing. I am fantastic at it. I just want to say first, I'm such a good sculptor. I did what was my police officer? What was it called? I don't know. I can't remember.
It was a funny
If you
name,
want the
though.
picture, I will send you the picture. But no, I'm actually joking. I'm terrible at it. It's the things that I created were abominations. Like you see it,
and mine were masterpieces.
Brooklyn's was a masterpiece. If you did see it, she sculpted our baby.
Yes,
and it was adorable. If you guys saw on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
it's the program itself isn't super.
It's a little dinky. There are other more sophisticated programs,
not very sophisticated. It's like pretty fun. There's some aspects to it that are really interesting, but it's like it's really hard to be precise in it at all.
Yeah, that's why the baby was terrifying, not because of lack of skill on my part at all. Just kidding. I'm being okay. Bye.
It was because of lack of. Just kidding. No, that really is why. It's like you just can't. There's certain things you can't like do perfectly in it, and so. But
it's really.
I would say like if you're looking just to kind of have some fun and sculpt some stuff and maybe play some games and have a laugh, it's pretty good. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10 probably. Just as far as like it works for what it is, it works well. It's just not very sophisticated. You wouldn't want to like try and make a living in Sculpt VR because you wouldn't. Okay, and then next is Cool House. Cool House is that. Sorry, we have so many opinions to go through. Cool House is the ice cream place on Washington. It's really close to us that we got after the Rams game. And it's like a startup place from, I think they started in Pasadena or something, and they have only a couple physical locations. And it's just kind of these like funny, fancy, different type of ice cream,
like more
stuff.
Naturally based.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways.
like the mint chocolate ice cream is like actually has mint leaves in it. Like it like tastes like natural mint, not the artificial mint with chocolate kind of thing. So like that, or what was one of the ones like this like churro and milk, like churro milk one, and I don't know, just like a lot of kind of random ones. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty expensive. It's like definitely kind of LA prices.
Yeah. It's like I would classify it in like fancy ice cream. Like it's more expensive than like Cold Stone or anything like that. So, and Cold Stone to me is like fancy ice cream. So it's like, so I don't know, but it is pretty good, and it's a nice little treat to have, and it's close to home, so we sometimes pick it up. But it's pretty good. It's a out of 10,
8 or 9. I don't know, 8.
Yeah. Depends on the flavor you get too.
Yeah, some are much better.
Because we did have one that was like not very good ones.
Yeah.
I think the mint chocolate wasn't very good.
I didn't really like the mint. It's like too much mint. It's just like you're eating leaves.
So that's good. Okay. Here's gonna be the fastest breakdown of the NFL.
I'm timing you.
Of all time. No. So it was interesting. So I'd never been to an NFL game. It was really interesting and fun to go to this NFL game. And it reminded it does, and this is what I think is when you watch the NFL on TV, you get a better seat. Like you're going to see more. You are going to, it's almost even, it's like clearer. It's like they show replays better closely. And stuff like that. And so those are some of the biggest pros of watching on TV. I also think that they do a really good job of making it feel like the field is bigger than it is. They do a good job of like showing these athletes as just like these superhumans, because they show the slow-mo replays and all that stuff. And so as far as like entertainment value goes, I think it is just like off the charts as far as watching an NFL game on TV. The cons of watching it on TV are that you have to watch ads. Like commercials are the worst. Where I guess the pros of being at the game kind of thing is it's just like an electrifying environment. Like everyone is pumped. Like we were sitting there and like there's like Ravens fans like, you know, arguing with Rams fans, and it's just like, but they're all doing it
like all in good fun.
And there's just like this giant camaraderie that you feel with this 70,000 people in this stadium of just like we're all watching this thing together, and that is something that is, it's like almost unquantifiable in my mind as like, but it was really fun. You don't get that when you watch it on the TV. Also, and then also when you're there, you don't have to watch commercials, which is nice. So timeouts are just, you just hang out, and sometimes they'll do like games like they do, you know, like throw a football through this ring 6 times or I don't know, like just dumb stuff. But I would just say like that they're just almost completely different experiences. Like I like watching football games on TV maybe better, but like it's a completely different thing. I also don't have to spend as much money to watch football games on TV. So, well, no money actually is what I spend to watch football games on TV. Anyway, I just think that it's kind of interesting that there's such a difference. Like there's such a different feel to it and stuff. But it was really fun.
It was.
I would go again for the right price.
Yeah.
But it was
fun for me, even though like team. I don't really understand football. Matt tries to explain it to me. I'm like, it's just a pile of bugs like running around. I can't understand.
Pile of bugs.
Pile of ants. Like it really feels like that. They're just like, okay, what happened? It all happened so fast. I don't even know where the ball is.
Oh, that's something I was gonna say is when you're watching it, not on TV, and they still have like big jumbotrons that you can see like replays on and stuff, but just stuff happens so fast. And also when you're watching them, they look a lot more like human beings. Like I mean like they're when you're just watching them on the field, it's like, oh, this is a bunch of guys playing football. When you watch it on TV, it's like these are like athlete or like warriors or like legendary beings doing this, but really they're just people. So that's kind of interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
but it was fun.
Pretty fun.
But I still enjoyed
it. I think stop doing that.
Sorry.
It's making noise. I do think though, it's like you should go, if you want to go, make sure that you enjoy the teams that you're going to see. I think there's a little bit of like, oh, I don't really care as much about this game, but we were there anyway. So Black Friday is awesome.
Gotta know what you're getting.
Yeah, gotta know what you're getting. That's all. Okay, Spies in Disguise. Oh wait, no, I actually want Black Friday. I actually really enjoy, and I think that it's it's kind of fun, almost for the same reason that like a live NFL game is fun. It's like you're there, you're shopping with so many people, and it's just like, I don't know, that mob mentality is just like.
See, and that freaks me out.
No,
I do not shopping when it's.
I
really
mean,
busy.
and I'm not talking about like dangerous shopping or anything. I'm just talking about like being out there with a lot of people and trying to, get the things that you want. I think that's really fun. And the times that I've actually like gone early Black Friday shopping or gone looking for something, it's been really fun. I actually don't like the whole commercialization of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, right after Thanksgiving stuff. I do think that's really annoying. I think that it's like,
we should be grateful for what we have.
Sorry,
and right after,
actually,
mostly
I think people. That it really bothers me that Black Friday has branched out to like starting on Thanksgiving and then ending on Thursday the next week kind of thing. Like it's a lot more interesting, a lot more fun for it to be like Black Friday, like the day after Thanksgiving, and that's the only time you get these deals. And obviously, like places make more money by lengthening out the sales and stuff like that. But I don't like the fact that it starts on Thanksgiving. I don't like the fact that it runs like a week long. So Black Friday's a 5 because I like it, but I hate it. Okay, Spies in Disguise. I'm not going to let Brooklyn comment on this at all because she's just going to ruin. Just kidding. No,
I am probably a little bit too critical.
Well, Spies in Disguise. So it's okay. Talk about it. What do you think?
I thought it was okay.
Don't spoil it though.
Okay, I can't spoil anything. No, it was pretty good. It's not the best one I've seen. Like I don't know what it is. Like Blue Sky, they do okay movies.
So, yeah.
And I hope that future recruiters are not listening to this because it's not good to like bash other studios. But
please don't listen to this, future recruiters. Just kidding. No, this is really what it is. I'm gonna speak a little less technically because that's what Brooklyn's gonna say. She's gonna say technical stuff.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
maybe not. I don't know. Okay, it was like a really classic. It almost felt like it was a 90s movie made into a 90s like spy
unlikely duo buddy cop type thing.
Kind of thing. And then it was just like loaded with cliches. So
many crotch jokes. Like when will those die?
That many.
When will those
die?
There
were 3 in a row that Brooklyn really didn't like.
Yeah.
But we
or just potty humor.
Our personal mission is to eliminate potty humor from animated movies.
Not even that it's just like, oh, it's indecent. It's like it's just not funny. It's not funny.
Not funny.
Yeah, it's dumb.
We just want to see a higher quality of writing.
Yeah, it's like
make us laugh for the right reasons.
Yeah. Exactly.
It was like, I mean, it was. I didn't like it. I'd give it a 4. The more I think about it, the less I've liked it.
Yeah.
I don't I like the message is decent, but like kind of overplayed. There's a lot of like weird cliches and a lot of things. Will Smith is one of the voice actors, did great. Tom Holland also did great. Some others didn't, but they did a really good job. But the characters and the writing it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
So. But the actual animation was like, well, not the animation, but like the style was actually really interesting.
Yeah, I felt like they were trying to push into something.
It was like a really fun style, and it was beautifully created. Like their especially their environments were excellent.
Yeah,
it was pretty.
It was kind of interesting because I was telling Matt yesterday, like I'm so critical about things, but I really shouldn't criticize because I'm not a writer. Like I couldn't technically write better, but it's just like as an audience member, I know really good writing when I hear it, and I know really bad writing when I hear it, and it's just like I want better writing. Give it to me, even though I'm not a great writer, if that makes sense. So I'm so critical, but like at the same time, it really is a huge feat when they're able to produce anything at all. When a movie is able to be greenlit, that's huge. And so I recognize that it's a lot of work and a lot of cooperation, but I just felt like the writing was a little sloppy, a little lazy in some places. And so just reusing cliches, like the huge chase scenes are just not very funny. They're just overused. And a lot of stuff was very slapsticky, but the style was a little bit too realistic to be for how slapsticky it was, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So like slapstick, what I mean is like Tom and Jerry, like pianos falling on characters, or like Wile E. Coyote, that kind of stuff.
Like, yeah, but then if it's set in a world that looks real, then it doesn't fit as well as if it's super cartoony. So
like when they fly through brick walls, it's like he should die. Like he should not just shrug that off. I don't know. I don't really appreciate that. So
yep.
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. It was not very good. Anyway, okay, this has been way too long. We love you. Thank you for if you listen to this whole thing. Thank you. If you didn't, then you're not hearing this.
And we don't blame you.
But we don't blame you either because it's so long. But
maybe we should give the people who listen to this whole thing something, like we come back for Christmas and like reward them with cookies or something because they are loyal listeners, and we owe that to them.
Okay. I'm okay with
that. Okay, bye.
Okay, we love you all. Thanks for listening, and thanks for letting us get our thoughts out onto this thing. Bye.
Bye.